welcome to another episode of the Free Flow podcast. Do you want me to be closer to the mic? Nikki's making very odd hand gestures. My name is Lauren McKenna, and I'm with my sister, Nicki Ashley, and we started this podcast, and we feel called to do it. We have some deep conversations with each other about all things being in our late 20s, from self-realization, self-awareness, and growth to just everyday nonsense. And we're here to share it with you all.
The joys.
The joys.
The joys
Hi,
of
Ninny.
being in your 20s.
How's
What's
my
up,
Ninny
girl?
doing?
You know, overall, it's been a pretty good week.
I'm gonna need you to talk louder and lower.
Overall. Overall doing good. The challenge for me this week has honestly been like balancing work while also trying to regulate. And being home is really hard. Like, I don't think people talk about how fucking hard to travel and maintain your health. Like, to me, I land from a flight and I'm like, woo, I'm gonna go ham. And I just want crap food.
Nicki ate some cookie dough today.
Which
Yeah.
I never go near. Like, when I, like, that's a huge, and it's not then, like, calorie restricted, it's just that
The ingredients
don't sit
pure.
well. Yeah, I want to fuel my body right. But when I'm home, all bets are off. And it's like a free-for-all.
But why do you think you're just on vacation mode or what?
For sure on vacation mode. To be honest, the weather sucks. And so I'm looking for, like, quick, fun dopamine hits. Like, I can sense it.
I know you're trying to speak loud for the microphone, but I might need earplugs because it's a little too loud.
I just cannot be right
like,
for you.
Feel it through my body, just like this, like, agitation. What was the last thing you said?
Traveling's really hard. It's a free-for-all. It feels like on vacation, but it also is...
yeah, but homie, we're wanting...
It's the weather.
Yeah, facts, the weather's booty. But we're wanting to travel in life a lot, so I think that this in itself is practice for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because being on airplanes, being in unknown spaces, new territory, like, yeah, obviously we'll enjoy ourselves and have treats and stuff, but we're people that very much care about how we feel.
I'm about to get real vulnerable. I'm going to share something that is a realization that I've had recently. I don't feel emotions, right?
Right.
And I noticed that, like...
Well, can I pause?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to...
No, you're fine.
When she says that, she means her body is in a state of freeze. So we have fight or flight, and then we also have freeze state outside of rest and digest.
Yeah, but I would argue that freeze is one layer, but also... Whatever. In sympathetic 2, you can also suppress emotions.
They're both suppressing emotions.
Right. And dysregulating.
But you're not somebody who, like, is quick to react.
Right.
You very much just, I feel like, coast very low. Yeah, you, like, shut down, I feel like. And because I think when people are more so stuck in a sympathetic state, my perspective of it is that they are very quick to react and, like, more volcanic, where you're not.
No.
Continue.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a shutdown, freeze, and it's not like I get stuck in my tracks. I literally just, like, brush it under the rug or suppress it. And I'm not a huge crier. I'm not a huge, like Lauren said, I'm not very reactive. I don't yell, which is all healthy to not yell at people. But you need to feel emotions. Like, you need to physically feel the anger. And I listened to this really good podcast, and he said, like, let's say they used a work example. Somebody emails you something really annoying. You're in the office. You can't yell back. You have to, like, be poised. But make a mental note when you get home that you have stored anger. And then when you're at home, like, don't just replay the memory over and over and over, because that won't help you get through the pain and the emotion. But they said to, like, literally feel into your body and envision the emotion in your body. Like, what symptoms are you feeling? Is your chest tightening? Is your heart racing? And to like feel it, and the more you feel it, it literally just transmutes and dissipates.
Yeah.
So I don't do that enough. And so as a result, I noticed that I reach for sugar. Like, this whole week has been stressful at work, and I'm like, just to get through the afternoon, I don't want to be angry. I just want sugar. And I've been having I don't eat that much sugar. Like, I'm on a low histamine diet. It's been working really well, but for some reason, between the cold, like no dopamine from the sun, serotonin from the sun, and the lack of like happiness from work, I've just been on a severe sugar craving.
Yeah, 100%.
Instead of feeling the emotions.
Yeah, for sure. And I do that so easily with food. I realized that when I fasted for the first time. I was just having this conversation the other day. When I fasted for the first time, I realized how often I just walk into the kitchen. Like, whenever I would finish a task, I would be like, okay, I deserve a treat now. Mm-hmm. And that wasn't a conscious thought. It was just like my body literally wanting a taste in my mouth so that I didn't have to process what I was feeling and I could just be distracted by that. Mm-hmm. And I realized how often I reach for food and like I'm not actually hungry. I just like want the flavor in my mouth.
It's a mix of helping me process emotions and boredom.
Yeah, straight up.
Like, I've noticed getting really
boredom, you don't have shit to do. You have to process your emotions.
Right.
So It's like, why do you think people, it's the same, reaching for sugar is the same as when you're standing in line at the store and you're scrolling on your phone. You can't sit still because it's too uncomfortable to feel your emotions. And we're not saying this to be like, oh, be better. Like, we've very much been conditioned to live in like a fight or flight or a freeze state. Like, it's nobody's fault. It's just having that awareness. Right. And when you feel that discomfort in your body, like, you're going to have so much more freedom and peace and love and all the goodness in life if you just surrender to what you're feeling and allow it to move through you as best as you can.
I think also I would argue that not only are we not feeling our emotions, but we're having more emotions more frequently. Mm-hmm. And our nervous system is in such a distraught state that its capacity to feel is down. So, for example, I'm scrolling on social media, I see a dead animal. I scroll again, I see a car accident. I scroll again, I see an obituary. Like, all of those, you were never exposed to that amount of tragedy day to day in old times. Like, there might have been a story, or you would read a newspaper or something, but the amount of like, or even if you see somebody pretty and then in your head you're comparing, you know?
Right, even little triggers.
The amount, we're constantly bombarded with triggers that not only dysregulate us, they also cause emotions that we're suppressing.
Yeah.
Shit. We're fucked.
But
no.
On the other side of that, well, same side, I guess, is why that's so significant is the less that you're able to feel those emotions, the less that you're able to feel like the higher frequency emotions. So I very much was somebody where like I always cried on Christmas because I'm like, I just want the joy of Christmas that I felt as a kid. Or I would stare off into the sunset and I would be like, I would get fucking sad because I'm like, I know this is pretty, but I can't feel it. Mm-hmm. Or in moments of joy, in my mind, I'd be like, this is going to be over soon. This is going to be over soon. Like, I wouldn't allow myself to feel that level of happiness.
I don't even know if you could. Like,
no, you can't, because your body, it's any emotion that's running through you. Your body's not feeling safe to process. Right. It doesn't matter if it's fear, grief, sadness, or happiness, joy, love. Like, if your body's not feeling safe to process emotions, it's not feeling safe to process emotions. Mm-hmm. So, like, the higher highs, the lower lows. And I've had this conversation so many fucking times the past, like, couple weeks, where even I've gotten to the point, and not every single time that I feel these more, I'll say like dense emotions or whatever. I don't even know if that's the right word, but the ones along the lines of fear, sadness, grief, where I was smoking the other night. I'm sure I told you this. And I was like, I always smoke and I move my body and I just feel into my body and the energy knows exactly where to flow. And fear came up because there's like this situation that I have fear around. And you know, with all of the like toxic positivity manifestation shit out there, it tells you fear is bad. You always need to stay in love and light and positivity and joy and abundance. So hearing that over and over again, I was like scared of the fear. I allowed this fear. I like tracked it in my body and literally felt it let go of the story of where it was coming from and seriously just dive really deep, which weed helps me do, like dive really deep into the feeling. And then it felt good. Like it actually felt good.
To feel the emotion.
Yes, and I heard that from Jen Morrell. But even it moving through me, like not just the freedom itself. And even Jen Morrell was saying this, like just a couple of days after I had this experience, she had the same experience. I'm sorry to shush you. What were you saying?
The fear of feeling emotion is almost worse than just feeling it. But I was saying that also there's a misconception that we have to not feel things because like Buddhas are so at peace at all times and they're just represented like that. But that's not, like, we shouldn't be afraid of emotions, and the goal is to not be calm all the time. Like, I heard this metaphor, and it's not this metaphor, I heard this clarification, and it's so powerful to me, that nervous system regulation is not being calm all the time, it is feeling safe.
Yeah. 100%. Can I give my hot take on all that? To me, the like Buddhist way is, and I'm not speaking like male female, it's more masculine, it's structured, it's still, right? Where the tantric path is more feminine, it's feeling everything, it's movement, it's expression. And I very much felt that I had to do the Buddhist thing, and I would sit there and meditate and be like, okay, don't move, like whatever. And that just felt so like concrete inside of my body. And I've shifted over many years into like I meditate in the morning and stuff, but it's like I physically move energy through my body. I use breath, movement, and sound to physically move the energy through my body. And then I do that like at night too when I do smoke and like move my body. And to me that's so much more healing to like feel it all instead of to just stay still.
Well, you will get physically sick if you try to not feel emotions. And I don't think we realize that human nature as you get older is to just not feel. Like, it's not something that I was cognizant of until I thought about my health and like my day-to-day and how I literally just like swallowed emotions. And it's interesting because when you remove the shield, I feel like emotions come out. So removing the shield could be alcohol, weed, mushrooms. And when I took mushrooms, it felt like I was oozing out emotions. Mushrooms. When I took
You said mushrooms. Alcohol, weed, and mushrooms.
Yeah. All of those decrease and for me,
I feel that the way we use alcohol, it numbs.
I'm not saying it's good. No, for me it brings out emotions.
Oh, okay. I feel like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, anything that lowers inhibitions, then I like spill out emotions.
Yeah. Which alcohol too, this is a realization I've had, like that's plant medicine too. It's from like wheat and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, we mix it with a bunch of trash and we like obliterate it, but in other cultures it is a healing medicine just like all the other things that you listed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think and I would love for you to speak to your thoughts on breathwork too, just being a facilitator, because like I said, day to day, like I'm baseline content and happy, but my feelings feel a little bit muted, like not as colorful and vibrant as it could be.
Yeah.
And like I said, day to day, feel fine. Then I do breath work and I'm like, oh shit, like emotions bubble up that I didn't even know were there. Yeah. Like when I cried about a guy that like I didn't even know that I was still sad about.
All right, the recording got messed up, but Nick was saying that emotions come up during breath work and asking how to release these emotions. And I would say breath, movement, and sound. And I'm saying this as a breathwork facilitator. I have training in somatics and a lot of experience with it. And somatics is just healing through the body. And that's been the most transformative modality of healing for me. So starting with breath, there's down regulation, which is like box breathing, more guided things. Me, I like to do it intuitively. So I just take slow breaths, breathe into my belly. Longer exhales are great for shifting you into a parasympathetic state. And then there's upregulation. So this is breathing very actively, like the holotropic. I do 90 breath work. So it takes you through a whole journey where it's quick and it's deep. And
shit's whack.
Shit's fucking whack. And that's great for like bringing up emotion too. Mm-hmm. And both of these types of breathing you can have emotional releases from. Just to preface, because when you slow down your breath, you shift into a state of safety. So like sometimes you have a release because your body starts to feel safe. I very much enjoy more active breathing, but just on the daily when you're like walking around, you want that down regulation, you know. So that's breath. Movement, intuitive, like truly intuitive. If you have a lot of energy in you, shaking. And like not the cute little videos you see of like people shaking, like stomp your feet, shake like your neck. Right. Like I'll shake my head no really fast and it looks crazy. Like it looks crazy.
Well, I don't do that intense yet.
Yeah, girl, I like it in there. And like shaking my hips, and it's intuitive. Like at first you might have to say, okay, I'm going to shake out my hands and tap into that feeling.
A kid throwing a tantrum. Again, we're not saying like you need to throw away all social norms and like have a tantrum in a grocery store. When you come home to feel emotions and get them out of your system, kids are the best model of how they release emotions.
Yeah, this is all being done within like a safe container that you've created for yourself, like with intention. You know, it's not from reactivity. So yeah, movement and sound, and then I'll link them all together. What?
When you're done with this, I want you to tell the story about my movement.
Oh, yeah, that was creepy. And sound is like, it can be singing, humming is great for vagal toning. I love to just, when I get in the car, when I'm alone, I just, and like shake it out. And like literally I'll start growling, I'll start high-pitched screaming. If it's not that intense, like, because when we were going through some pretty deep stuff last year, I remember driving home from work and I like there was so much anger and like frustration built inside of me, and I heard this yelling fuck you and no are such a great release, and it doesn't need to be at anybody. Like, it's just saying that, because how many times have you wanted to say those things and you haven't? Like, your body knows what it needs to release. Your mind doesn't need to understand the story behind it. Last thing, I like to tie all of those together, breath, movement, and sound. So it's literally like a great practice I've done. I've walked through myself and have been walked through, is like I'll just start either in a seated position, on all fours, on the ground. You can start laying and just tapping into your breath, like letting sound come out with your exhales, like, and you can like get into it and then move. That can be swaying back and forth. That can be a stretch. That can be whatever. And this is genuinely what I do when I smoke, is like I just do breath movement, not so much sound, because like we live in a house and I would wake you guys. But tying my breath to the movement, I'm like, the energy just knows how to release.
Yeah. And as somebody who is very like scientific based, resistant to all of this somatic work, I've started doing it just because I can feel energy build up in me. And I just do the basics. Like, I honestly am not at the growling stage yet. I think it might alarm my roommates, but I do the jumping up and down, like bouncing. Not only is it good for energy release, but chemically, it's good for lymphatic drainage. Like, your body needs to move. We're way too stagnant emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Like, spiritual, in my eyes, demonstrates as chemical in the body. Like, we think that they're separate, but really they're together.
For sure. And I think, what?
I was just gonna say, something else, so you say.
Okay. No, just, it's easy with movement to, like, think of the gym, think of a walk. And those things are great. Like, I went on a walk today to, you know, settle my internals, whatever, like to ground. And also the rhythm of, like, walking. That in and of itself can be great, but movement can literally, breath movement and sound can be the messiest, most chaotic shit. Like, it does not need to look a certain way, sound a certain way. Whatever, tapping into your body is such a practice, and it's whatever you need in that moment.
Punching the air is something I started doing.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
But I would love to also identify a little bit, because the fuck you sounds reactive, but it's different. And so let's say, for example, you get rejected from a guy, okay? Mm-hmm. And your rejection wound opens. Like, let's say a guy cheats on you and you feel rejection. It would be one thing to go to him and say, like, fuck you, cut his tires, all of that shit. That's very reactive. That's you harmed me. You did this to me. The universe fucked over me. Mm-hmm. Versus taking an internal look and saying, okay, this is opening up a wound I need to heal. I need to feel enough within. And then knowing that you still have that, emotions are energy, so you still have the emotion. Envision it like literally a ball within you of energy that you need to get out. And so the fuck you is a way of releasing that energy. Yeah. It's not a literal meaning. I don't know how to get at that point.
Well, one of the ways that I perceive it is just like you were bringing up little kids. Like, they're great to look at with all of this, because a little kid, if they're hurt, they feel it so much. They don't care about the why or what the reason was. Like, if they feel, you know, betrayed or whatever, the parent can be like, oh, honey, it's because A, B, and C. They don't care. They just feel the feeling. And we still have that little kid in us. So it's like that inner child. And I used to really push off the concept of inner child. I, like, low-key didn't believe that it was real. And I've come to realize it's extremely pertinent. And there's a little kid in you that is feeling these things that doesn't have the concept of explanation around it. It just feels these potent feelings. So giving that kid the space to say what it wants to say, to express how it wants to express, like, that's so much of what somatics is.
I kept having the theme of rejection come up in my life and in my dreams, and it truly made me question if I was enough or not. And so instead of going and pointing the finger at the universe harmed me, they hurt me, you have to feel the emotion. But it's not just feeling an emotion, it's looking inward and asking yourself, why does it bother me so much when so-and-so doesn't text me back? Why does it bother me when I have a dream that I'm left out? And there's a reason why.
I think it's asking yourself, why is this situation in your reality? Because whenever something's triggering us, it is showing us that there's something within us that is not quite healed yet. So in Nicki's example, she has a rejection wound, right? That those emotions have been repressed. She hasn't fully worked through that, transmuted that into higher frequencies. So the outer world is going to reflect how she's feeling inside and continue to give her opportunities to heal that. So that's like where the mind, the intellectual level comes in, as opposed to the feeling. And I like to usually feel first, because then you can come at the intellectual with clarity instead of from a reactive state. And this conversation got way deeper than I was expecting and has used way too much brain power.
So we're done.
And I feel like a robot that's been drained of all of its juice. So thanks for tuning in. Smoochies. Oh, you know what I was going to say? This is what I was going to say. I think in the future, because both me and Nicki are like very single, getting banged is regulating because breath movement
with somebody you trust.
I was gonna say with somebody that you feel safe with. It has to be somebody that you feel safe with, because then you're completely vulnerable. Like healing somatically, you have to be vulnerable. Like if you're in your head thinking about it and you're doing things a specific way, that's not vulnerability, and that's fine. Like don't judge yourself for that if that's the case. But being with somebody that you feel safe with is regulating in that physical, intimate situation because it's breath, movement, and sound. On that note...
What's one thing that you want to focus on moving into the next week?
Bitch, I don't know. I'm fucking tired. What's the one thing you want to focus on?
Honestly, I just want to go... I have a bachelorette party this weekend, and I just want to go and not symptom track. I think sometimes that makes things worse. Like, oh, is this food? Is this alcohol going to say, well, bitch, I know it's not. So just roll with the punches. I'll get back into a cycle when I come back, and I'm not going to go ham. I'm not going to have things that are major triggers.
Yeah, like, again, listen to your body.
Yeah, and I'm also not going to, like, obsess. Like, my body can do hard things. It can handle 1 drink, 2 drinks. It's going to be okay. And, previous me, I think I just like overanalyze everything because, yeah.
Life's a balance, yo.
Life's a balance. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.
Peace out.